Today I will be talking about homesickness. Now this is very difficult when you are going abroad for the first time, moving away from your home country. So for me, when I went to the US, I was just 19 years old and I left the country for the first time on my own. It was a very daunting experience and I would never forget that feeling, how it felt. And in the Netherlands it was so much easier, but it was also so much harder just because I knew what was waiting for me. I knew the homesickness, I knew how it felt to not want to be somewhere, missing home, missing food. I knew the feeling, if that makes sense. So I thought I would give some tips on how to handle homesickness when it gets really tight. So the first 3 months, I would say that it's not kicking in as much yet, just because everything is new. There's new food, new people, new places. It's just so fun. When that homesickness starts to kick in, you will feel different. What I did to help myself with my homesickness is I usually wrote down how I felt when I was homesick, just so that when I feel it again, I can know, okay, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm not sick, I'm just homesick. I would feel alone when I'm not even alone, depressed. So there's a lot of signs in your body, or your body lets you know that, okay, you're feeling homesick. So firstly, what I did is I planned very exciting things. Like I would try and plan something each weekend. Like obviously in the Netherlands it was a bit harder with how much money I got, but in the USA it was a lot easier to plan something every weekend since I was paid weekly. Secondly, what I would do is I would try and not call home as much. From experience, when I au paired in the USA, I used to cry so much and call my mom probably 5 times a day. It was really hard for me. I didn't have the best experience in the USA, so I just called home a lot and it didn't help. Whereas in the Netherlands, I would text my mom a lot, but I wouldn't call as much. I would try to call once or twice a week. My third and final tip would be to talk to your host family when you feel homesick. I was very fortunate to have a host family in the Netherlands who also traveled and who knew what it felt like to be homesick. And one day I was just feeling very down and my host mom actually asked me if I'm okay, and she reached out, and that just makes it so much easier if you have open communication. So whenever I felt homesick, I would talk to them and just be like, you know, I'm not feeling my greatest, and they would call me for a supper or really try their best to make me forget about the homesickness, even if it's just for a little while.